As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying and talking. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been standing most of the night, living in the gangster's paradise. Been standing most of the night, living in the gangster's paradise. Been standing most of the night, living in the gangster's paradise. Been standing most of the night, living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and the gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things are going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Conscious Crew. What is going on, you guys? Happy Saturday. When I tell you guys, I am like one drop of liquor away from hungover. I am like so tired and so freaking exhausted. I partied my ass off last night in Charlotte. One of my friends came through on the B-Day weekend extravaganza, but got here hella delayed because you guys know I just turned 37 last month. Okay, I'm an old nasty piece of Scorpio girl. And we came to Charlotte for the weekend, child, and I was not ready, bitch. Okay, so I'm over it. Like, I am so through right now. Like, my head is pounding. Okay, But I had to come through and push some content for you guys. There's a lot going on in the world. Yes, I am celebrating my birthday until 2023, bitch. So I'm claiming Sagittarius month as well. Okay. It's all Scorpios, honey. Okay. So I will be heading out of Charlotte tomorrow, I believe. Because I have to shoot my intro for my damn for my YouTube channel, girl, and I cannot miss this date because this will be the third time I would have to reschedule the shoot. And girl, it's just a lot, so y'all pray for me, girl. But all good vibes, girl. I mean, girl, I don't, first of all, I don't even fucking club, so that was very interesting. The last time I probably been to a club was girl, it had to be over a decade ago, maybe even 15 years ago. Girl, it's been, I had to be in my early 20s, girl. Okay, but we came through like Mariah Carey and what's the single off the Emancipation of Mimi? It's like that, y'all. Da 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 da. I like, girl, 60 inches of weave, girl, coming through stunting like my daddy, bitch. It was off the chain. I had a good time, but I am through. But nonetheless, girl, we ain't here to get into that. That's a whole nother situation, girl. But y'all pray I make it through these streams because I done fucked around and also planned another live stream at 12:30, girl. So, we're here, girl, to get into a nasty piece of crazy update, and I'm really befuddled and behooved by this arrest. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am behooved by this arrest. Okay. Before we even get into the minutia, as my boy YB would say, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up this video. I don't typically live stream on Saturdays, but I had to come through because I was shook. Okay, but I didn't have time to get into an update when this first updated because I was already like heading out of town and packing and all that shit. So it was already too much going on. So I said, girl, as soon as I can sit up straight, I got to come and talk to my people about the situation, girl. Am I the only one who's behooved? Is it just me? Is it just me? Am I the only one behooved? I don't understand. Yeah, we're working on period. So once again, y'all, I'm kind of hungover. Okay, so be patient. Girl, I'm having to catch my thoughts. Okay, so thumbs up this video. You know, the Conscious crew is not used to being in the building on a Saturday, and this probably half of the damn crew is probably hung the fuck over somewhere, girl, because it's been a long news week and it's been a whole lot of bald-headed whole shit going on, girl. It's been a whole lot of funerals in the church sector, girl. It's been a whole lot of scandal. It's been a whole lot of Putin. It's been a whole lot of Kanye. It's been a whole lot of right wing, and it's been a whole lot of left wing, girl. It's been a whole lot of. So half the crew probably knocked the fuck out. So wake they ass up by thumbing up this video. You know that thumbing up not only helps us get into the algorithm, but it also triggers up the notification system because YouTube only sends notifications to 10% of your subscriber count. Okay, but when you guys thumbs up the video, it forces these YouTube CEO whores, okay, to put in that work and send out more notifications. Okay, so get them in the building. What's going on, baby mother? A Gift and a Curse podcast. How you doing? Okay, welcome to A Gift and a Curse podcast. Y'all, a killer be having me done, girl. Cause she be in the middle of her commentary, girl, and then she'll say some ungodly shit, okay? And then she will recalibrate with, welcome to A Gift and a Curse podcast. I be like, you better get it, baby mother. I'm about to mod you up right now, baby mother. Hold on. Let me go ahead and rant you up, child. Hold on. Okay. Moderator. Where's the moderator? Okay, add moderator. Okay, so so you just got your wrench, A Gift and a Curse podcast. There you go, baby mama. Welcome to the harem. Okay. Now all my other baby mamas who already got ranches, y'all just help to show a Gift and a Curse podcast the ropes around here, girl. Okay, just usher her in smoothly, girl. Okay, but welcome to the team, babes. Also make sure that you guys set your notification bell to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be king, and even if he's half goddamn drunk, girl, he coming through for y'all, period, bitch. Okay, we won't stop, we don't stop, we can't stop. Also make sure that you share the stream out, because girl, we are not a monogamous community here, girl. We into all type of polygamy and polyamory things, okay? There's enough CTV to go around for everybody, girl. So you got to share if you motherfucking care, okay? With no further ado, let's go ahead and get our commentary. Go ahead and get into our commentary for this morning, girl. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys, so we are back, girl. So as you guys can see from the title, there has been some major updates around the death of Migos rapper Takeoff, okay? And yes, I do have music playing in the background. It's going to help to get me through this, girl. Okay? So, the Halloween homicide that claimed the innocent life of popular rapper Takeoff, who was 1/3 of the famous rap band Migos, is coming to a conclusion, but a shocking one, as the man arrested and charged for the fatal shooting is Patrick Xavier Clark, a popular club promoter that no one, including nosy-ass social media, identified in all of the footage and members of the Jazz Prince Jr.'s entourage that night. HPD has held a second press conference regarding the arrest, and family members and friends of the suspect speak out. So buckle your seatbelt and be prepared to feel either elated or confused. All information is cited in this live stream, covered by fair use and alleged, according to media outlets of all sorts concerning the topic at hand. Now, girl, y'all know where we had left off at. I'm gonna have to share some stream. Grand rising to everybody coming into the sanctuary. I love you all. Okay. This is where we really left off in the investigation. Okay, let me share my screen. Courtesy of Miss StreamYard. Hold on. Okay, on period. This where we at? Yes, this where we at. So, last time that we checked in on the story, you guys know that it was Migos Bands, who is the half brother of Quavo, who was identified as a murder suspect in the case. So this is who we last thought that HPD was after. You guys know that Migos Bands was the infamous all black figure who can be seen in multiple angles of the footage that was carrying a weapon on his waist and who allegedly discharged his weapon. Okay, we over here call him Baby Dreads. Okay, and once again, as you guys can see here, courtesy of dreadsinfo.com, this is Migos Bands here and his half brother Quavo. Okay. Now, Migos affiliate Migos Bands identified as Takeoff murder suspect. Houston police names Migos affiliate Migos Bands as person of interest in Takeoff's death. Houston police have named Migos affiliate Migos Bands as a person of interest in the death of Kersnick Kari Ball, known as Takeoff. In a new angle of the circulating video, which I have seen but will not be posting, it shows just seconds before Takeoff's accidental murder. Okay, so as you guys can see here, courtesy of TMZ, this is Migos Band's waist. You can see his weapon, etc. Boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow. Due to the video footage and previous photos, the man who was identified as Migos Bands, although there's nothing in the video proving that he was the one who fired the first shot, but about 5 seconds later, he is seen raising his weapon and seemingly firing it. It's unclear where Takeoff or Quavo were in relation to him at that moment. We know where Takeoff was. He was actually intersecting between Migos Bands and Lil Fifth Cam, okay? Or if the bullet that ultimately killed him came from his weapon. Takeoff never said a word to anyone. He was chilling in the cut, minding his business. He stood up to see what was happening and got hit. He was reportedly hit twice, once by the dude who was with him and once by the other people shooting back. The headshot killed him immediately. Okay, you guys know that. Also, let me see here. ABC News also reported this. Okay, remember the manhunt that was underway for the suspect who fatally shot Migos rapper, which was Takeoff, which was Migos Bands. Okay, so that's who we thought they were searching for. Now, it's been a minute since that update. Then we recently got another update, okay? That Lil Fifth Cam, who is the infamous yellow hoodie, okay? Who's the guy that allegedly used Takeoff as a human shield when he was in open confrontation with Migos Bands, okay? It was also alleged that Lil Cam Fifth also had a gun, but then there was conflicting observations because some people said that what Yellow Hoodie pulled out was a satchel, because apparently he was prepared to snatch Takeoff's chain, and then other people were saying that it clearly was a gun, and people had zoomed in and doodled and circled this and circled that. Well, we all thought that Lil Cam Fifth would be just as much of a person of interest in the death of Takeoff, but that hasn't really been the case, and HPD never really listed Lil Cam Fifth, aka Yellow Hoodie, as a person of interest. But he was recently apprehended and brought in for carrying an unlawful weapon. And here it is, you can see it courtesy of Neighborhood Talk, that Houston prosecutors clarify that Lil Cam Fifth is not a suspect in Takeoff's murder investigation, despite his recent arrest on felony gun possession. Quote, "We're continuing our investigation into the death of Takeoff." So now you can imagine how behooved I was, okay? Behooved, girl, okay? Behooved when this here motherfucker was arrested, okay? Courtesy of the Daily Beast, girl. This is the man here, Patrick Xavier Clark, who was taken into custody and arrested, okay? Courtesy of the dailybeast.com, popular strip club promoter accused of Takeoff's murder said, "I ain't perfect. A lucrative dice game and an argument preceded the Migos rapper's murder," police said Friday as they announced the arrest of Patrick Xavier Clark. Members of Houston's rap community said they were in disbelief Friday after a well-known local promoter who ran a strip club and had a large social media presence was arrested and charged with the murder of Migos rapper Takeoff. Just over a month after Takeoff was gunned down following a private party at a Houston entertainment venue, police announced Friday that they had arrested Patrick Xavier Clark, 33 years of age, on a murder charge. Takeoff, 28 years of age, was an innocent bystander who was shot twice, including one in the head, after an argument that stemmed from a lucrative dice game, police said Friday. Quote, "We lost a good man," Police Chief Troy Finner said. Quote, "Hundreds of people I talked to, what a great individual he was," they said. Rapper Jamali told the Daily Beast on Friday that he and many others were shocked by Clark's arrest, calling him a beloved promoter who ran the Flame HTX, a strip club that Clark posted about regularly on social media to his 20,000 plus followers. Jamali said Clark was known around Houston as DJ Pat. He never knew Clark to be the violent type, theorizing that if the 33-year-old did have a gun on the night of Takeoff's death, that whatever ensued must have been an accident. Quote, "You could see by the reactions of everyone that we're shocked because that's not the type of person Clark is, Jay Maley told the Daily Beast. He was about business, not violence. Jay Maley called the entire situation unfortunate, adding that Friday's news was completely unexpected for many in his circle. Quote, Pat was similar to Takeoff in that he was quiet and just went about his business, Jay Maley said. Quote, that's why this is so surprising to everyone here. Clark's social media accounts show that he carried on like usual in the days after Takeoff's death. He posted on Halloween, the day of the shooting, to, quote, meet me at the club. Then on November 2nd, he tweeted, quote, God got me, he been had me. On November 8th, he wrote, quote, been hurt so many times, it's hard for me to feel love, exclamation points. Followed the next day with, quote, I ain't perfect, I'm solid though. The same went for the Instagram account for the Flame HTX, which Jay Maley said was run by Clark. Others close to Clark said they felt he was being framed for the murder. Quote, I know him. He's not like that. I honestly feel like they got the wrong guy, said one friend who knew Clark from his strip club. Quote, he doesn't get mad or hostile. He's very nice and thoughtful. That's all I have to say. I feel he is being framed. The friend who spoke on condition of anonymity said Clark would not shoot someone because, quote, he wouldn't jeopardize losing everything he worked so hard for. In a motion to deny Clark bail, cops wrote Friday that the 33-year-old had recently booked flights to Mexico and ordered an expedited passport. This cop wrote made him a flight risk. Family members of Clark did not return messages from the Daily Beast, but one relative told a Beast reporter, quote, he's a good kid, but I have no comment other than that. Just hours before the shooting on Halloween, the club posted a promotion for a party that night. Then on November 2nd, it posted an impromptu ad that the club was hiring new dancers. A second person, 22-year-old Cameron Isaiah Joshua, also known as Lil Cam 5th, aka Yellow Hoodie, was arrested last week for allegedly carrying a weapon illegally at the party at 18 Billards and Bowling. Police said security footage captured Joshua with a weapon, but prosecutors were adamant he didn't kill Takeoff, saying the charge of unlawful carrying a weapon was appropriate. So that debunks this whole notion that Lil Cam 5th was holding a satchel. He was not holding a satchel. He was not holding a bag. He actually had a weapon that was captured allegedly by footage. Okay. And he was charged accordingly because Lil Cam 5th already is a convicted felon. Okay. So he is not allowed to legally own a firearm as a convicted felon. So he was in violation of his stipulations as a convicted felon. A video of Takeoff's final seconds alive showed him hanging out alongside his uncle and groupmate Quavo as Quavo argued about basketball before a barrage of gunshots rang out. Police said Friday that Takeoff was not involved in the argument or the dice game. Quote, wrong place at the wrong time, Finner said. Quote, no evidence to say anything different. Before shots were fired, a man dressed in all black could be seen in the video holding and then drawing a gun. That would be Migos Band, the half-brother of Quavo. Houston police told the Daily Beast in November that the man was a person of interest, but did not identify him. It's unclear if that man was Clark. Despite video and photos of the incident going viral, public updates on the investigation into who fired the shots that killed Takeoff and injured two others, including Quavo's 23-year-old assistant Joshua Washington, dried up. Finner said Friday that officers struggled to get information because witnesses fled the scene and weren't available to give statements to police. He said Clark was pinned down as the suspected killer after hordes of forensic evidence was collected and dozens of cell phone videos from that night. Takeoff's whereabouts were well documented on Instagram. On his final night, he was seemingly bouncing around Houston with Quavo and Jazz Prince Jr., who was celebrating his birthday. One post showed the group in 5th Ward, a Houston neighborhood, around 9:30. soon followed by posts at a private party at 810 Billardson Bowling in downtown Houston. The shooting happened outside the venue at around 2:30 a.m., Fenner said. An 810 Billard spokesperson said it happened outside its doors after closing. Offset, who broken away from Migos to perform solo, paused his shows as people worldwide mourned Takeoff. Offset and Takeoff had reportedly been at odds with each other when he left the group, but he later said he was in unbearable pain after shooting, and allegedly Takeoff and Offset, despite Offset not being in a group, actually were in a good place before Takeoff passed. Quote, "I wish I could hug you one last time," he wrote. "Laugh one last time, smoke one last time, perform one last time. I love you forever, for L and after." Early Friday, Offset played his first show since Takeoff's death, performing at Miami club E11 Evan as Art Basel kicked off. The rapper, whose real name is Kiari Kendro Cephas, dedicated his performance to Takeoff. Quote, "We're doing this for my brother," Offset reportedly told the crowd. "For Takeoff, let's do this shit." So, once again, you guys, this club promoter, Patrick Xavier Clark, is the man who has been arrested and charged for the fatal shooting of Takeoff. But not only is social media completely in shock and in all of this, but bitch, so are Patrick Xavier Clark's family and friends. According to them, this man has never even had a pathology of violence. That him and Takeoff are the equivalent of each other in terms of their personality type. Very laid back, very cool, very caring. Everybody is shook. One of the friends is saying all out that he believes his friend is being fucking framed for murder. And I can believe that, because when the fuck has this man came up? And everything that social media had going on and all of the footage that was uploaded, where the fuck was Patrick Xavier Clark? Where? Not only did this man physically was ever noticed by anybody, his fucking name wasn't either. But I mean, allegedly he was definitely within proximity to the situation. But it means that social media either allegedly got it all wrong, or, as people are saying in the comment section, this man is the fall guy. Now, just like in Shanquella's case, bitch, we have more questions than we do answers. But you know what? I'm going to withhold my judgment, because police said that, hold on, let me read it. Police said that, let me see if I can find it here, that they have forensic, okay, that they have forensic evidence, and they have video evidence. I am very interested in what the forensic evidence is in this case. Clearly, HPD definitely kept some things under wrap, like they said they were doing. Since this is a investigation, you know, like I'm gonna wait to form a conclusion, because I don't know what they have. But I am very, very, very surprised. We clearly all are. Yeah, I want to see the forensic. I want to see the footage. I cannot wait to see how this man is connected to this situation. Now, you know, in Texas, you know, niggas pass off guns in Texas. You know, Knockout Media came up here you know, when we were talking about this last and was talking about how relaxed the gun laws are in Texas. So even though the bullets that claim the life of Takeoff may correlate to a gun that is registered to Patrick, for all we know, Patrick passed off his weapon to someone. I mean, I don't, you know, I mean, shit. Knockout said that in Texas, hell, you can have, you know, people come in to Texas and, you know, or you can have, you know, like, yeah, people on their way to the park or on their way to the mall, and you can give them one of your guns. So that's legal to do. And we definitely haven't seen everyone that's there, but that's why this is shocking. Because we know for a fact that Migos Bands was carrying. We know that he lifted his weapon. We also know that Yellow Cam 5th hijacked Takeoff's body. So even if this man here, Patrick Xavier Clark, also used his weapon, because initial reports from bystanders did say that everybody from both sides were shooting. So we know for sure that there are other shooters, and apparently this is one of them. But however, I still don't understand how Patrick has been apprehended and connected to this murder before Migos Bands and Lil Cam 5th was, who was even arrested and charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon that night. I don't understand how HPD, like, are they acting like Lil Cam 5th did not stand up behind this man? We literally see Yellow Hoodie grab Takeoff by the back of the neck, raise his arm to the side of this man's head, etc. Like, we know that Migos Bands was carrying. There are also lots of witness accounts that there was a dispute happening between Lil Cam 5th and Migos Bands, who was initially a suspect of interest. So I wonder how they also ruled out Migos Bands, or if Migos Bands is still a suspect of interest. I have fucking questions. I have a matter of fact. Let me see something here, because I meant to do this, and we're going to get into the press conference that was held as well. I hope I still have this picture saved to my computer. Yep, still got it. Boom. Okay, so let me see if I can share this real quick, okay? Because, I mean, social media put a fine tooth fucking comb through this shit. Here, okay, this is one of the still shots from one of the footage. You can see Takeoff here, right here, turning around. You can see Lil Cam, Yellow Hoodie somewhat in frame. So he's moving across from behind Takeoff. And what they circled here appears to be Gunsmoke, captioned as Takeoff looks back at Yellow Hoodie, okay? So when Yellow Hoodie had raised his arm up, you know, I had suspected that Yellow Hoodie was shooting over the shoulder of Takeoff at Migos Bands. And then remember, there was all this conversation that Migos Bands was shooting wildly and had accidentally also shot, which could still be true. Okay, we don't know if there's more suspects to come. We don't know if there are going to be more arrests made. But, you know, then there was that very encrypted message from Jazz Prince Sr., who also eluded that someone within the camp didn't know how to shoot a fucking weapon. So I wouldn't have been surprised if Migos Bands or Lil Cam 5th got his ass arrested. For sure. Because these were the prime suspects that was captured in most of the footage. So I'm definitely surprised to see the face of Patrick Xavier Clark. And what's even more interesting is that, according to the Daily Beast, not only do police have forensic evidence, but apparently they have video footage that correlates to this. I'm also very surprised. I'm very curious to know what that footage is. Did they see something? Did they capture something? Did they observe something that we didn't? Do they have footage in their possession that was never uploaded to social media? Did they use the same footage that went viral on Facebook and YouTube and etc.? Because apparently, they also may have footage from billiards and bowling itself. Some of those cameras might have actually been active, and that may have given them tidbits into what took place, and gave them a vantage point that some of this raggedy, fractured cell phone footage provided. So I got a feeling that probably the footage that they actually have are from the surveillance cameras of that actual facility. That's more than likely what they have. And apparently they got some damn good footage. If a man who got very little traction, very little publicity in this whole investigation is the first to be brought in, arrested, and ultimately charged, whatever 5K, 4K ass technology and whatever angle and whatever cameras that were obviously in operation, done gave a fuller context than what we have based upon fractured motherfucking iPhone footage and Android footage, okay? So there's that. But even with that being said, everybody is shook and everybody is shocked, and nobody really knows the full context here. Did this man intend to shoot Takeoff? Was he shooting at Yellow Hoodie and accidentally killed Takeoff? Since Lil Kim definitely was making his way from one side of the space to the other side of the space, people were shooting all across. I mean, this is a hot mess. I am interested and curious about what the context is, but everybody that knows him, friends and family, had to say that this has to be an accident. Had to be an accidental shooting. Had to be self-defense. You know, some niggas would start shooting just because bullets coming their way. They don't know who they coming from. They ain't got time to figure that out. They know they got a gun and they about to protect themselves because self-preservation is the first law of nature, which would still fall into an accidental killing. Okay, so moving along, let's get into Houston police and this press conference that was held recently. Actually, this is not the recent one. This is from a month ago. Hold on. They just had a press conference. Here it is.
Afternoon, everyone.
Okay. So this is Officer Milk Dug Head. Okay, he's back. And I have not seen this yet, so this is my first time also seeing this. Before I get into this, let me turn this music off. Let me also run my fair use doctrine. And we're going to take a look and a listen here. And the suspect also has already been before a judge. We're going to take a look at that footage as well after we get into this press conference. But let me cite my fair use, because this footage is covered by fair use. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot I don't have my fair use situation uploaded here. Hold on, y'all. I forgot I don't got that shit uploaded in StreamYard. Tell me. Thumbs up, thumbs up. You guys are coming into the building. Thumbing up is very, 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 very important, y'all. Please don't make me badger y'all over fair use. I mean, over thumbs up, okay? If you in the building, thumb it on up, child.
Fair use.
Okay, here it is. All right, so let me run this fair use, and then we'll get into the things of the things of the things. Shout out to all the Conscious crew members who are in the motherfucking building.
Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. All information discussed on this platform is alleged. The term fair use designates the acceptable use of copywritten materials without obtaining specific permission from the holders of the copyright. Fair use is generally granted for the purposes of comment, criticism, research, teaching, and scholarship.
All right, covered by fair use doctrine. So let's go ahead and get into Miss Houston Police press conference, you guys. Once again, this is by the Houston Police YouTube channel, courtesy of them, and also covered by fair use. If you guys hear the audio echo free, please give me a 1 in the chat.
Here with Mary. Mary, thank you for the support. We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to Takeoff's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of Takeoff's fans around the world. We lost a good man, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him. But everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam.
I bet they do want to keep their relationship to Atlanta intact because as a result of Takeoff's death, Atlanta been sitting on ready. Hot metal blazing since.
Who've worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So
and you know, if this man, if they got good solid evidence to arrest this man and to charge him accordingly, then shout out to the Houston Police Department, because it was looking mighty bleak on one end. So Officer Milk Dug seemed to have came through on his promise. But I tell you this, just like in Shanquella's case, I don't think it's going to be enough for just Miss Dejanay to be apprehended when we know there are other prime suspects. And I'm not sure if this man alone and his arrest is going to be enough, because there has to be some attention brought to Yellow Hoodie. It's just really ridiculous that this man is already a convicted felon who was recently brought in as a result of carrying unlawfully at the scene of Takeoff's death, and literally can be seen as somebody who is a part of the drama that goes on in Takeoff's case. And so if Lil Cam, and it doesn't seem like they are going to do anything, because clearly if they were going to incriminate, if they were going to connect or charge Lil Cam fifth, they already had all ample opportunity to do that. They already charged him, but not relating to anything that involved Takeoff. But they charged him as it relates to him carrying unlawfully at the scene of Takeoff's death and at this Halloween shindig. That's just really, really, really wild to me. But whatever.
Yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday.
Exactly, Serenity. How do they remove Lil Cam as a suspect, but can say that Migos Bands is actually a suspect? It's confusurations.
Evening, in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. I'm sorry, of Houston. Again, Cameron Joshua, 22 years old, was arrested
Yellow
November
hoodie.
the 22nd.
Yellow hoodie.
Felon in possession of a weapon. I'm going to turn it over to the mayor right now. And after that, we're going to bring up the investigators and then the district attorney's office. And then
I hope they explain why the fuck Joshua Cameron, Isaiah, whatever the fuck his name is, Yellow Hoodie isn't connected or a suspect, a witness, or something in this case.
Commander Garcia will translate for us in Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And look, let me thank your entire team and all of your law enforcement partners that have been working on this case. Let me thank the prosecutors from the DA's office. I really appreciate their presence and their work. And I've certainly realized that the work even continues in this case.
Yeah, it better damn continue in this case.
I want to point out the fact that over the last month, I've had several conversations with the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Andre Dickens, kind of keeping him advised of this investigation and what was taking place, and talked with him as late as yesterday evening to apprise him of what would be taking place today. Look, it was about a month ago when we stood here.
I need y'all to pray for me, girl. Like, I'm trying to sober up so bad. Oh my God, girl, I don't even drink, child. Like, I didn't even drink enough to be hungover, girl. But I'm somewhere between not hungover and hungover, like right at that fucking threshold.
As a team to discuss the shooting death of Kirshner Kyrie Ball, public knew him as Takeoff. We all knew him as Takeoff, a talented entertainer and part of the Atlanta-based group, the Migos. I do also want to acknowledge Councilmember Edward Pollard, who is with us this afternoon. But more than an entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry. At that time, we also asked witnesses to help police identify Takeoff's killer and prevent more violence from happening in retaliation. I am glad that a suspect has been arrested and charged with Takeoff's death. It certainly, I think, will bring some comfort to the family, though it does not bring Takeoff back. This is a significant step towards seeking justice, and I hope it also brings additional comfort to all of those who love Takeoff. Over the past few weeks, Chief Fenn and I were asked often about the status of the investigation.
Yes.
The chief kept me informed about the information that had been received, the evidence that has been collected, including the videos, the video that was being reviewed. I want to express my regrets and disappointment that this was a case of another young man taking the life of another young man for no reason. The gun violence everywhere, not just in the city of Houston, has to stop.
I'm not gonna lie. Officer Milk Dug, he looks like a stand-up guy. I get stand-up energy from him. Seems like a genuinely nice man. Okay. You know, like, you know, husband material.
People are dying for little or no reason.
Kind of man that you want raising your sons. You know, decent man, see.
People are reaching for a deadly firearm to settle sometimes a minor disagreement. But pulling a firearm can have deadly consequences that you cannot undo. And so I'm glad that arrest has taken place, that we do have someone in custody. It is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate because it does not bring Takeoff back. But to Chief Fenner, to you, to your command staff, to the investigators, to the DA's office, to all the partners who helped, to those who provided tips, information, let me thank you, and then look forward to this investigation and prosecution continuing on this matter. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, I just want them to really get to the damn point. I need to know what happened to Miko's fans as a person of interest. I need to know why the hell is Yellow Cam, Yellow Hoodie, Yellow Cam, bitch. Girl, he gonna be every combination today. Yellow Cam, Hoodie, 5th Ward, bitch. Why the hell is he not connected directly to this homicide and this interesting video and forensic evidence that they have on Patrick?
Step up and make a quick correction on the name. I had a misprint on my notes. It's Patrick Xavier Clark, 33 years old, on the rest of the suspect. Okay, come on, Sarge.
Good afternoon. Sergeant Michael Burrow with the Homicide Division.
Okay, get into
the chief
it.
was very gracious in recognizing a lot of the partners that we were involved with in this case. I want to recognize a couple of other people that or organizations that helped a lot with the investigation. The Houston Forensic Science Center, our lab rats, so to speak, the people that do our forensic analysis, they work behind the scenes a lot. They don't get a lot of recognition, and they helped us answer a lot of important questions in this case when others would not. That includes our firearms section, our latent print section, our crime scene unit.
Awesome. Good mayonnaise, man. Good mayonnaise, man.
Quick note, just I know there's going to be a lot of questions about the investigation.
You damn right.
The investigation's still ongoing. We
It
still have
better
a lot
be.
of people that we're trying to locate and talk to.
Okay, good.
So we will be a little bit short on details here.
All right.
I probably will not be able to answer all of your questions.
Uh-huh.
But I can tell you,
What's
from
that?
some of the speculations out there, the event was
Okay.
a private party.
We know.
There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event.
We definitely
There was
know.
an argument that happened afterwards
There
outside
sure
the bowling
was.
alley, which led to the shooting.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing the dice game.
Okay, sir, you ain't telling us. We have eyes and we have ears. We knew this before y'all even knew this. We know.
Involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander. Some important case factors. The chief was mentioning some of the timing here. I mean, we've boiled it down to over 30 people that were standing outside. We have an exact number, but we're not going to put that out. When the shooting happened, literally every single one of those people left the scene without giving a statement to police. We found a few of them that night. We found others since then. But it's important that those people come forward. And we're still looking to talk to a lot of those people. And we will be looking to find you. It will be easier if you come find us. It'll be easier for you. It'll be easier for us as well. Essentially we had to rely on a large volume of video surveillance evidence that came in, and cell phone videos and audio, things that surfaced over time in some cases that weren't available immediately. We had to sift through all of that and use physical evidence and use shooting reconstruction and confirm a lot of our ballistic evidence, what weapons were involved, things of that nature. And through that, we were able to deduce that Patrick Clark is the lethal shooter in the case. That's why he's being charged with murder.
Okay, hold on, but I missed that. Let me go back real quick. I'm sorry.
Were involved, things of that nature. And through that, we were able to deduce that Patrick Clark is the lethal shooter in the case. That's why he's being charged with murder.
So according to video footage and ballistic testing and reconstructions and reenactments and assimilations and everything else, they concluded that he is one. Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mayor. My name is Ruben Perez, and I'm a Bureau Chief of the Special Crimes Bureau. My bureau was in charge of this investigation at the DA's office. I want to thank the prosecutors in my bureau for working extremely hard, and I really want to thank the HPD organization for all the work and the collaborative effort they put into this.
I just don't understand how the fuck. I get all that. I get the ballistic. I get the reasons why they have Patrick arrested. I still don't fucking understand how Migos Bands and Yellow Hoodie is not present as well. I just don't understand. I don't get it. If y'all had to reconstruct this and realign this, and y'all had to act out the scene and everything else according to where shit was fired and where the bullet holes was and the video footage and all that. So y'all did all that to get a hold of Patrick, but there's a lot less rigmarole and all around the mulberry bush about Migos Bands and Yellow Hoodie, which is like literally explicitly what's happening right in front of your own naked eye. And y'all ain't even got these niggas in. I don't get that. Y'all, it's almost like they would rather go to arrest the ghost in the room than to arrest like the humans first. Like the ghost was also on they fuck shit too. But how you gonna arrest the ghost before you arrest the physical people in the situation? And that's what it feels like to me. I'm like, you know for a fact that Takeoff literally walked right in between Yellow Hoodie and Migos Bands, who both were carrying. Y'all already done brought Lil Cam Fifth in. You knew he had this gun. You clearly see Migos Bands with his weapon. Eyewitness account said that everybody else was shooting, including Migos and Yellow Cam Fifth, but yet y'all let Little Cam go and don't even connect him to the crime, only aside from the fact that he was carrying unlawful. And Migos Band's name seemed to have just faded all together. And then y'all went through all this reenactment to bring in Patrick Xavier Clark.
Case along with the DA's office, and I also want to thank our federal partners.
See, this is why I'm not this is why I couldn't work as a profession. All this, my patience
for their help, and I want to thank everybody who was involved in this case. I want to echo what the mayor said. I want to echo what Chief Fenner said, and I want to echo.
And I also feel like, and this is another thing. Aren't they afraid that Lil Cam Fifth is going to like get the hell out of Dodge or even be potentially killed before they find out what he knows? Y'all know that this man was a key fucking witness. Hold on, wait a minute. How the fuck are y'all gonna come on this press conference talking about y'all need people who were there to come? Y'all need people who were there to come forward so y'all can speak to them. But then you had a motherfucker who was directly involved in the melee, and y'all let him go without no questioning, no whatever, as it relates to what happened there. How the fuck are you going to not connect Yellow Hoodie to the crime when he was there on the scene, but then have a whole press conference and say, we need to speak to everybody who came forward, and yet y'all, is it just me? Hold on. Is it just me? 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 Am I missing something? Because I am half faded. So is it just me? Quiet Storm says, I'm sure they questioned him. Sure how? Because every article makes it appear and basically stated that they used the video footage of Lil Cam Fifth having a weapon to charge him for unlawfully carrying a weapon, and then ultimately sent his ass on with an ankle bracelet. Now, that was the only thing that they really was remotely concerned about. How the fuck is a man who was arguing, an armed convicted felon, arguing with another person who is carrying a weapon, and then you have all this video footage of smoke around Takeoff's head. You have his ass running into the bowling alley. You have his ass leaving the bowling alley. We see all this footage of Yellow Cam Hoodie getting in, getting out, even putting his hands on Takeoff. You question him and found out what? We need that tea. You questioned him what? What were the questions? What were the answers? What? Girl, I need this footage. We need this footage. We need this, the surveillance footage, because it's given that whatever the Bitterton bowling surveillance footage gave is an entirely different show, an entirely different shit show. It's an entirely different reality than what all the cell phone footage gives. Y'all brought him in for unlawful care, and where's Miko Bands and all this? The nigga who allegedly was shooting Buckety Wow in the Wild Wild West. Are the only bullets in Takeoff's body from, and then how did they connect the gun to Patrick Xavier? Well, I forgot. Well, they got footage. If this is a registered weapon as well, all that shit would, I guess.
Echo what the investigator said, that it took a lot of effort.
I got that footage, Amy. I'm gonna show it here too.
But we arrested this defendant.
I'm curious to know that too. Bedside, they obviously, you know, they would have had to retrieve the weapon for them to have a conclusion on the ballistic situation.
We look forward to prosecuting this case, and want to send our sympathies to the family, and we look forward to prosecuting this case, and we'll see everybody in court. Thank you. Muy buenas tardes. A nombre del jefe de la policía, Troy Finner, y del alcalde Turner, queremos dar las gracias al público por su asistencia en este.
Okay, I'm gonna let this play for all of my, you know, Spanish speaking, you know, subscribers too. You know, be all inclusive on the platform.
Hace algunas horas el jefe de la policía le habló a la madre de nuestra víctima y le dio las noticias de que en efecto hemos arrestado a la persona responsable por este crimen. El individuo se llama Patrick Xavier Clark, de 33 años de edad. Fue arrestado anoche El 22 de noviembre también fue arrestado una persona de interés en este caso. No creemos, no sabemos su papel exactamente. Se llama Cameron Josh, de 22 años de edad. La evidencia, gracias a la cooperación tanto del Departamento de Policía, incluyendo a la División de Homicidios, a la División de Pandillas, nuestros compañeros federales del FBI y de la ATF, nuestros
Well, it's a shame that I only learned enough Spanish in high school to graduate the course.
compañeros de la Procuraduría del Condado de Harris. Y a
Had no intentions of ever speaking in tongues again, girl, after high school.
muchas otras personas que participaron en esta investigación.
Shout out to all the Spanish, Latino, Mexican, Conscious crew members.
Las gracias por su
We international in this bitch.
cooperación. Esperamos que la ciudad de Atlanta y los compañeros fanáticos de este individuo tengan un poquito de alivio de que esta persona fue arrestada. En conclusión,
Oh, if he just translating, girl, then oh, what this?
le damos las gracias a todos los que nos dieron información y a todas las personas que participaron en esta investigación. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Open up for questions.
Okay, so now journalists and media are asking about Joshua and his arrest, aka Lil Cam.
He was there on the scene and he was in possession of a weapon. He's a felon. Okay.
So does Mr. Clark lose the ice game, or was that like the motive of this?
We're still investigating that, and we're not able to discuss it right now. Just the dice games.
Thank you. More specifics about how you
Wow. So, I mean, they really are trying to really just kind of do the least as it relates to Lil Cam, but like people saying, maybe he doing some talking. Maybe he doing some talking. I don't know, because that would be the only way to explain why they seem to be completely disinterested in connecting Lil Cam Fifth, is because maybe right now he is talking and they're piecing shit together and they trying to say the least right now because they just trying to have all they squares and all they ducks in a row, because I cannot accept that Lil Cam Fifth is just somebody that they're not going to use in some way, shape, or form, are not going to involve, are not going to investigate, or not going to connect to this homicide. Not to him having a unlawful weapon, but him using it, him being on the scene and of a whole murder scene and connecting him to what happened to Takeoff. I'm going to choose to believe that they're utilizing Lil Cam Fifth in some way, shape, or form in this situation, because I can't accept what seems to be obviously the case is that they literally just are not just acting like. I just can't accept that.
Yeah, not today. As the time comes, we will. All right. We're not going to discuss that right now. It's still active in investigation. We told you, and just not a whole lot of details. The main thing right now, he's in custody. He's arrested and he's charged for this murder. Still some work to be done on it, but we're not going to go in any farther than we've already went on the investigation.
You guys have often talked about the fact that in this case too, there were so many people on scene. They don't come forward, they like leave, and you guys had to sort of work backwards. Were there any witnesses who were helpful, or did you basically have to construct all of this from the?
I can tell you,
source of the video,
yeah.
Bits and pieces of.
I can tell you it's outstanding investigative work on this. Not a lot of help for people coming up and stepping up, but I don't want to judge them. But they do need to come in because we know who was on the scene, and we will be contacting and reaching out and finding those individuals. This is a murder. And if you left because you were afraid or whatnot, I don't know the motivation, but you do have to come forward and give us some information, and that could come through grand jury opinion as well. So,
because let's say that Yellow Hoodie pulled out his weapon but never discharged it. He still hid behind this man in an altercation he was having with someone else that did not involve Takeoff at all. And he essentially used Takeoff as a wall, as a brick wall, as a human shield. So even if he never discharged his weapon, I don't understand how, based upon what we all can see with our own eyes and ears, and they also saw the same fucking footage and more, that he cannot still be connected and charged in some way, because his own actions directly led to this man shooting. He is just as much a part of, he's just as much of a puzzle piece as everybody else is in this situation.
We already, it's definitely wrong place at the wrong time. No evidence whatsoever to say anything different. Go ahead.
And people saying, oh, they haven't spoken to the witness. Baby, these motherfuckers had a prime witness in custody, and that was Yellow Cam Hoodie. Baby, Yellow Hoodie, look, Cam Fifth can tell them more than anybody else in that situation, because he was a part of the entire event. He is literally connected to Jay, Jazz, Senior, Junior. He was a part of the whole gambling situation. Did they use Lil Cam Fifth to identify and bring Patrick Xavier Clark into the mix? Because it is ironic that Yellow Hoodie was brought into custody on the 2nd of November and charged, and then we're now in the top of December, and Mr. Patrick is brought in. Did Yellow Hoodie help to incriminate Patrick Clark? Is he cooperating? Did ballistic testing clear him? Are they working alongside? Is Yellow Hoodie working alongside HPD to take a lesser charge or no charge at all, since allegedly maybe ballistics don't incriminate the weapon that he had on him, but he wasn't supposed to have a weapon at all, so that's why they deemed the charge as an appropriate charge, but they can't connect his weapon to the crime, but they worked out giving him a lesser charge, and they're pressuring him because they know that they could flip this on Lil Cam's head. He is a convicted felon. He's supposed to be on a lot more than just house arrest, technically. He's supposed to have a lot more going on right now than a fucking ankle monitor. He's a convicted fucking felon who's carrying unlawful at the scene of another man's murder. So it's ironic that Lil Cam Hoodie, but I'm calling him his whole goddamn social media government, Lil Cam Hoodie, Fifth Ward girl, got brought in last month, and now all of a sudden we see Patrick Xavier Clark walking through the doors. Lil Cam might have definitely helped to make that happen, which is why his ass only took a ankle monitor home and probation. Oh yes, Kiwana, it is wild.
I'll get you. I'm sorry. Oh yes, the actual arrest of him. Yeah, peacefully. And I'm not bragging, but I send this message to our criminals. We're gonna come and get you, and we come and get you professionally, but we come in force with everything that we have. And he gave up, and I want to say thanks for that. Okay, nobody's hurt, nobody's injured. Go ahead.
Takeoff as a bystander, can you say at all where he was situated in terms of where the gunman was?
No, we won't go into it, but he was actually on the scene, and we all know it. There is some video out there, but we're going to stay away from specifics right now. Go ahead. We don't know. Yeah.
Was Mr. Clark, has Patrick Clark admitted to the shooting?
Not going to discuss that right now. But
was Mr. Clark involved in a shooting in 2018 at a club where someone was killed?
That's part of the investigation. I mean, we'll get it out to you.
Okay, so y'all guys just heard, allegedly Patrick was involved in a shooting at a club in 2018. So I don't know the context of that shooting. I don't know anything about that shooting. I don't know if he was just in proximity to it, or whether he was armed and discharged a weapon, etc. But so I ain't gonna speak on that right now. But if he was yeah, I ain't gonna speak on that right now. Until I know more about the situation, which I will be looking into, because that's very interesting, because it disrupts the narrative that the friends and the family members are putting out, that he was a low-level, quiet guy, just like Takeoff, etc. But once again, the way that question just got brought up and the way that Milk Dud just answered it, it didn't provide no context. So, but that's interesting. I'll be looking into that.
Well, one of them has a residence outside of Houston. Go ahead.
And I don't know why Milk Dud seems to be seemingly agitated by the questions. He's like, he's kind of like got some tension, as if he's like annoyed. But this is a fucking press conference.
We don't know. We're not gonna outrule anything. We're gonna go where the facts and the evidence lead. And you remember what I said: suspect are suspects, and we're gonna leave no stone unturned. And everybody, family deserve that. And I want to say this, and we're gonna probably do it just a few more questions, and we're gonna leave. We got work to do.
Okay, so Tamara says that Patrick Xavier shot another guy in a shootout. So I may try to look into that before I wrap up this live stream. So by the time we get through some other stuff, I'm gonna go back around to look into that. Matter of fact, if anybody has any articles, if there's any information that you guys have on that 2018 shooting, can y'all send it? Either email it to me right now at consciouztv@gmail.com or DM it to me on Instagram at consciouztv over on Instagram. That's conscious with a Z on the end. If y'all have anything I can read and show publicly as it relates to that shooting, so we can have a better context for that, send it to me right now so I can include it in this commentary before I end this live stream. Thanks.
Individual that's killed in our city. It's tough, and it's tough on the family and tough on their friends. Everybody deserves an investigation, but the investigator said it. We need people to step up too. Do your part as a citizen. And if you see something, you need to say something.
Did Yellow Hoodie, I mean, I know that they trying to quote unquote keep it under wraps, and they trying to, they're trying to make sure they get it right, but I'm not satisfied with the lack of information around what they did with Lil Cam Fifth and how he only is charged with carrying unlawful. I'm not satisfied with it. If these people know what the fuck they doing, because I'm not a police officer, I'm not a goddamn investigator, okay? So, and somebody is dead in this situation, and I do understand the need to be diligent, the need to separate media from the integrity of a thorough and responsible investigation. I respect all of them lines, and I don't necessarily expect them to give us everything, because that's just not how it works in the real world. But still, bitch, I'm hungry for information, and I just personally don't feel satisfied with him having Lil Cam Fifth in custody, but he's not connected to the homicide, only charged with having an unlawful weapon. But to me, it's now given that, girl, yeah.
Let the fear paralyze you. Step up and say something, and we're all better and safer because of that. One more.
Chief, was he?
A gift and a curse says they're using that charge to hold him. They're using it to get him to talk.
To flee or leave town? Is that why you guys moved in last night? Or what can you tell us about?
I don't want to go in.
Girl, look at the body language of Milk Dud. He is just like, he is so uncomfortable. Like, he's at a press conference. He seems so perky and so, demurred this entire thing. But when it came to the Q&A part, it's like there's an entirely different energy in the room. And I don't know why he's agitated, because they are the ones holding the press conference and inviting the press for clarity purposes. But look at how agitated and unrested he is as this female journalist is asking her question. Like, look at him.
Is that why you guys moved in last night? Or what can you tell us about?
I don't want to go into any details on
Look
that.
at all that. That's a lot of activity in his body.
I don't want to go into.
It's almost like somebody is asking him to assume the position butt naked, and his masculinity is definitely conflicting, and he, this is just not the way that he's trying to be pleasured, girl. He's very uncomfortable, but that's a lot of activity.
One more.
Chief, was he about to flee or leave town? Is that why you guys moved in last night? Or what can you tell us about?
So the female, for those of you who can't hear, she just asked about Patrick and if they arrested him because he was about to flee the country. But you guys already read in the Daily Beast article that, yes, that is why they apprehended him, because he had just booked a passport and booked flights to Mexico. So they considered him a high flight risk, and they went in and apprehended him accordingly.
I don't want to go into any details on that, but we suspect you. We'll have our eyes on you. Yeah.
Can I ask you, this is national, if not a worldwide story. What message do you want to send to the broader community about
what's going on, St. James?
Well, the one message is, number one, you can't come and commit murder in this city and expect to not get caught.
Girl, the whole fucking legacy of J. Prince Sr. completely fucking obliterates everything that you just said, honey. J. Prince Sr. could not even be alive and well today if what you just said has any bearing of fucking truth.
Frankly,
okay.
Guns
Allegedly.
Kill. And if you use a weapon in the heat of the moment, or whatever the facts may be, if you fire it, you can have deadly consequences. And then someone can either be seriously wounded, or someone, in this case, like Takeoff, can lose his life. And you heard the investigator say he was an innocent bystander. But regardless of whether you are an individual that's a celebrity or you're not a celebrity at all, we are going to investigate every case with the greatest degree of intensity, utilizing all available resources to find who the person was or who the persons were. The other point that I will make is that if you have 30 people that are in that setting, and one of those persons, for example, in this case, like was Takeoff, was killed, everybody else has a responsibility to contribute to finding out who did it. So I don't give anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly why the fuck we're confused about why the fuck, about y'all lack of information about Yellow Hoodie's involvement. Yeah, That's exactly why we were fucking confused, because this whole fucking 19-minute thing, y'all been talking about everybody who left, everybody who fled like roaches with the lights cut off. It was nobody on the scene. Y'all had to hunt this one down. Y'all need everybody to come in. It's everybody's responsibility. And yet y'all allowed a man who was directly involved to walk away scot-free, seemingly. Y'all hold a press conference to be vague. I mean, we didn't even need a press conference for this. You could have just allowed the news to report that, hey, Patrick Xavier Clark has been arrested in the fatal shooting of Takeoff. Because this was 19 minutes of nothing, really. You know, this obviously was just a press conference to assure or to soothe the public, you know, but also by providing the least. And once again, this is a fucking investigation. I get it. I understand all the boundaries. I understand it's a development. I understand it. I understand the understandings. I get it. Pointless, and I'm not satisfied at all. I'm gonna try to find this YouTube. Y'all send me this shit. Send me the short to my inbox. I don't know where Patrick Xavier's YouTube channel is. I didn't even know this man had a YouTube channel. I don't even know who the hell this man is. So if y'all have this stuff, send it to me. I post. I don't know if I can post. I don't know if anybody but my moderators can post links in the chat. But post. Send it to me. Email me the shit. I'll pull all that shit up before we wrap up.
If you were there and you saw something and you know something, you don't get a pass.
Yellow Cam Hoodie
Everybody
did.
has to take up responsibility.
Yellow Hoodie did. Lil Cam Fifth did. Like, I don't see. This is. How can you make that? How can you make those statements before a public that saw a man y'all had in custody who was literally there and used this man's body as a human shield, and then say all that you're saying? You just have to not say this at all. And then why are none of the journalists pressing the issue? Why isn't nobody saying, well, wait, hold up. Y'all had a Joshua Cameron in custody. We see this man all up and through all this footage. We see him using Takeoff's body. We see him in a verbal dispute with Migos Bands, who's also armed as well. We but yet y'all haven't, like, why is nobody asking that question? Why is nobody talking about all the big ass elephants, all the big ass yellow elephants in the room? Okay, it's one thing for HPD to be quiet about it because, you know, they got a strategy and maybe they are, you know, there's a reason why they obviously would protect the investigation for obvious reasons. But why is the fucking dumbass media who's there not asking any critical questions? People in the comment section of this video are asking fucking better questions than the goddamn media that's there. Nobody's asking any hard-hitting questions. The articles are more fucking detailed. Like, this journalist just asked a question that was cleared up in Daily Beast. She asked, did y'all arrest Patrick because pretty much y'all felt he was about to be on the run? Girl, that news was already out there. Did you come to this press conference that unfucking prepared?
And lastly, I would simply say there are just too many young men. And I'm gonna be even a little bit even more specific. There are too many young men of color who are killing other young men of color. And that has to stop. It has to stop. So this is unfortunate. You have a young man, I think they're 33 years old, is the suspect here. And Takeoff was under the age of 30. Okay. So
I feel like there's some like weird sunken place shit happening here, because what Milk Dud Senior just pointed to was that little bulletin board they have prompt on the stage, and it has Patrick's mugshot on it, and it has Lil Cam Fifth mugshot on it. But why are y'all saying the least about Lil Cam Fifth and also let him go on a unlawful carrying charge, completely unrelated to any other circumstance that went on that night, but yet have his face prompted up as if he has anything to do with it? Because according to y'all, on the surface, he ain't got nothing to do with it. but yet y'all have his picture blazing right there, and also is aware that we know that he's directly involved, but yet y'all are narrating it as if he's not. Going to give a benefit of a doubt and say, girl, strategy, girl. Because the only way I can make this make sense, aside from the fact that HPD is full of shit, that's definitely one alternative, is that they're full of shit. The other alternative is if they are using the unlawful carrying charge, like my baby mama said the whole time, etc. And as I said, they are working with him in terms of not throwing the whole book at him like they can, because he's already a convicted felon and he technically should be experiencing a lot more severe consequences than just being put on house arrest. Then if he is cooperating with HPD, because it is ironic that Patrick got brought in a month after Lil Cam Fifth had already been taken into custody and charged, etc. He might be the reason why Patrick, a part of the reason, because they already got ballistic, they got forensics, they got video, and whatever they may have from Lil Cam also is what brought Patrick in and over. But if Lil Cam also is potentially snitching out everybody else, HPD may be attempting to protect their asset right now, which is Lil Cam Fifth. And maybe they're trying to make it appear as if Lil Cam is in the clear, Lil Cam is not even a prime suspect, so that they can ensure his survival through this damn investigation, because really he's now being used as a fucking informant. And that's me giving HPD the benefit of a doubt, why they are being so tight sealed on Yellow Hoodie's involvement in the situation when we can see that he's clearly fucking involved in every way, shape, or form. So he has to be snitching. Or the other alternatives are HPD is full of shit and all that mob tie shit, because apparently Lil Cam's father is also interconnected in the mob tie situation as well. And this is what mob tie immunity looks like. This is what immunity actually looks like. This is the personified expression of that immunity, girl. Literally, immunity. You know the old saying, the old adage, that favor ain't fair? This is what favor, aka immunity, looks like. I understand Bed-Stuy, but once again, we also, as desperate as we are for clarity, for context, for proper understanding, we do have to realize that this is an open investigation. HPD also said in this press conference that, you know, they are intentionally not, you know, giving out a lot of information because they want to ensure a thorough investigation and that they get the right people and the right sequences, etc. Blah, 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 blah. So if they're doing that, then it means that they are going to sound full of shit. You know, they are going to sound full of shit, but sound full of shit because they are actually doing their job. And this is the best way for them to do that, which is not by catering to the emotional needs of the public, but actually focus fully on the investigation. And if we take what the Junior said seriously, that he personally feels called to handle this investigation with thoroughness and to be meticulous, because he's now met Takeoff's mom and he made a promise to her, and he's not going to take her on some wild goose chase by just making impulsive arrest and being flippant in all of this and potentially fucking up and this, that, and the third, and then having to undo things, and because the family will be dragged through all the ins and outs. So if we take what he's saying seriously, then You know, and once again, they done brought this Patrick dude in. They say they got forensics. They say they got video footage. So what I want to believe is that HPD is actually on it, and when this is all said and done, they're going that everybody who needs to be brought into questioning, who needs to be held accountable, is going to be held accountable, and that it's all going to make sense. That it's going to be substantial facts and evidence to have put everybody in the position that they're in. And like HPD said in this conference, you know, suspects, this is an ongoing investigation. They're looking to arrest more people, and they are just fine-tooth combing through everything. And it's very possible that Lil Cam Fifth may be working with HPD in order to dissolve his own charge for carrying unlawfully, because once again, he should be done in a lot more than being on house arrest. So they're, you know, so hopefully that means that they are on their strategy shit. There's no YouTube videos with him as a vlogger, only this murder charge. And I noticed the chief is absolutely adamant about Patrick being the killer, not the suspect, but the killer. I'm here, I'm in Houston, and HPD is full of shit, and all of them 8 the press releases are full of shit. However, I believe more people will be called to questioning. Oh, there needs to be multiple arrests, just like in the Shankwella case. And y'all know it's only one bitch who they got an arrest warrant for, and it's just like, oh my God. Okay. Tamara says I sent it, it's article. Okay, Tamara, thank you so much. So I'm gonna put an article. So that concludes this press conference, girl. I don't know how helpful it was or wasn't. I don't feel satisfied, but I just hope that these people know what the fuck they're doing. It seems like they have good reason to have brought Patrick Xavier in, so that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully they know what they're doing with Lil Cam Fifth, etc. And speaking of Lil Cam Fifth, oh, y'all signed up to Patreon too, chat. This is Patrick Xavier showing up to his first court appearance, and this is courtesy of KHOU 11. Okay, Patrick Xavier Clark made his first court appearance after being charged in Migos rapper Takeoff's death. Prosecutors want him held without bond. Okay. Also, this is covered by fair use, so let's run that fair use doctrine one more time. And then we're going to put this article that was sent to me courtesy of the Street Committee, I believe, involving this 2018 shooting that Patrick Xavier Clark allegedly was involved in. Okay.
Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
All right, and once again, this footage is courtesy of KHOU 11. And once again, this is Patrick Xavier Clark's first appearance. Man charged with murder and Takeoff's death makes first court appearance.
Rapper Takeoff is first tonight and happening right now. The man accused of killing Migos rapper Takeoff is facing a judge. This is a live look at Patrick Clark in court at this moment, having his rights read to him as we speak. And investigators believe they caught him before he had a chance to flee to Mexico. 33-year-old Clark is charged with murder after police say he opened fire during an argument over a dice game at a party Takeoff was attending in downtown Houston.
Takeoff was hit even though police say he had nothing to do with that dice game or the argument. Matt Doherty, live outside the Harris County Jail in downtown Houston with the latest. Matt?
Okay, so you guys heard that. I just missed a lot of that because I had to go in and fucking pee, okay? But this is the club promoter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could tell from that live video, but he was chaperoned by about 10 officers. That's not normally how things go over here. We're told that he was separated from all of the other inmates and made his appearance very last. Patrick Clark stood before a judge for the first time as he was read the charges against him. Last night, Houston police say they arrested Clark here in East Harris County.
Within a couple hours, I would say half the parking lot here was full of the police officers' cars.
Stefan Godillo was here at Papa John's making pizzas when suddenly dozens of officers flooded the parking lot.
But we saw the officers going inside and putting on bulletproof vests and armor and all kinds of vests. Pretty much looked like they were getting ready for some kind of raid.
Houston police say Clark was taken into custody without incident. At a news conference today, police wouldn't give many details about the case or what led them to suspect Clark was the rapper's killer. HPD Chief Troy Finner said Takeoff was not the intended target outside of the downtown bowling alley that night.
Definitely wrong place at the wrong time.
The event was a private party. There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed.
Videos from the aftermath show witnesses fleeing the scene. Police say not one person stuck around to give police a statement about what they saw. The chief once again requested those who saw it happen come forward.
We know who was on the scene, and we will be contacting and reaching out and finding those individuals. This is a murder.
So there it is, Sha. Oh my God. This is very, very, very interesting. Now, for the commenter who said that his last YouTube short was very telling. What's the date on this? I'm gonna let you guys listen to DJ Pat, aka Patrick Xavier Clark. Okay, one of the Conscious crew members said that this is very telling. His last short. So this was his last short.
You gotta learn how to play your position or play a position. But understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So might go over your head, but what's understood, you gotta learn how to play your position or play a position. But understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So might go over your.
Okay, I mean, definitely words that can mean almost anything. Someone said 14 hours ago, you about to play Get on All Fours, boy, when you're taking it in TDCJ. It might go over your head. Oh my God. So who set you up to play your position is the real question. Crazy that he said this a few days before he killed Takeoff. Speaking on the plot, question mark, damn shame what's said in the dark or done in the dark always gonna come to the light. Glory to Yahshua. This bro that murked Buddy, somebody wrote, someone says 100. My version was obvious. Don't need to be said. Someone else said, damn, bro, I hope it ain't true, but Takeoff. Someone else wrote a bunch of clown emojis. Someone else said, sounds like dry snitching. RIP Takeoff. Which prince paid you? Someone said, your position about to be in the penitentiary. Oh my God, this guy shaking my head. Ye is right. Clown emojis, okay? So this was a post that was a few days before Takeoff's death, girl. And I'm gonna let you hear it one more time.
What's understood, you gotta learn how to play your position or play a position. But understand, it don't matter what position you play. If the team win, you get a championship ring. So might go over your.
So is he alluding, honey, to a lick? Okay, it's just a hint. It's just an innuendo to the plot that's thickening as game day approaches, or is just regular street banter and you know, has a non-menacing context. Very interesting and timely, though. I will say that. Now, also, let me pull up these emails because the Conscious crew members sent off the tings of the tings. Honey, thumbs up this video, you guys. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you are in the building. If you are a bush baby, if you're watching from the treehouse, the rooftop, thumbs up the video. Let me pull up these articles. Okay, shout out to Stacy and Tamara, or Tamara, I should say. Takeoff suspect Patrick court paperwork. Oh God, bitch, I'm too wasted. I'm too girl. I don't know if I can. It's affidavits and shit. Defendant committed instant offense using okay. Oh, but this is good shit. Wait a minute. We might have to get into this for sure. Hold on. I need to download this whole thing. Okay, thank you so much for this, Stacy. Shout out to the street committee, baby. Y'all definitely got y'all masters in nosology. My God. Who are the suspects charged? Okay, let me see what this article says right here. If this has anything to do with the 2018 shooting. Who is Clark Jones? Suspect Instagram. Last week was someone that's not the ones that's supposed to be here. Switch up, so that's why it's new faces. Oh, wow, wow. So DJ Pat also made another interesting tweet. He made this on November 29th of 2022, which was a few days ago, that read, the ones that's supposed to be here switch up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. Now that's definitely given. That's definitely given. Let me show y'all this real quick. Matter of fact, hold on. Oh, yep, I already got it. Okay, so this is courtesy of clicktohouston.com. Who are Clark and Joshua? According to their social media profiles, they're both involved in Houston's entertainment industry. Patrick and Xavier Clark. According to what social media users are saying, Patrick is a well-known Houston rapper that goes by the stage name DJ Pat. Those familiar with Clark were tagging DJ Pat as his Instagram and Twitter following his arrest. His last tweet before he was arrested was on November 29th saying, as you guys can see here, the ones that's supposed to be here switch up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. Is he talking about Takeoff? Is this some type of a parable as to what led to the situation? Has there been some betrayal? Has there been some disruption of principle on behalf of Takeoff and or Quavo that led to these consequences? He says the ones that's supposed to be here switch up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. Now, he is Houston rooted. Okay, so clearly, yeah, I'm going to assume that his allegiance is with Fifth Ward and Jay Prince and them and that whole situation before it is with Migos. He said the ones that's supposed to be here switch up. So that's why it's new faces at the table. Or playing devil's advocate. Could Patrick be the fall guy? But then again, Houston police are saying that they have ballistics and video. So it's no ifs, ands, or buts as it relates to them. And we're going to get into this paperwork regarding his arrest, baby. So it's appearing that this whole notion that he is the fall guy, that he's taking AL for the team, etc., might not be necessarily the case. It goes on to say that on his YouTube channel, he posted a YouTube short nearly a month ago that we just heard. Tilting what's understood don't have to be said. Additional information from court records say that Clark has previously been arrested in connection to another fatal shooting at a club back in 2018. According to documents, Clark was at a club live on North Shepherd Drive around 3 a.m. when a man was pepper sprayed by a security guard. Police say the pepper sprayed man went to his vehicle, retrieved the pistol, and shot at the guard and Clark. Both Clark and the security guard allegedly returned fire and shot the man. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Authorities say Clark initially fled that location following the shooting, but later returned and cooperated with police. He was ultimately no-billed by a grand jury in this case, meaning he was not charged. Documents released on Friday show that Clark was preparing to flee the country before he was arrested for the rapper's murder. He had an expedited passport and a itinerary for Mexico. So he basically shot a man in self-defense. So the narrative that Patrick is pretty much, an easygoing guy can still be maintained. Because easygoing people and down-to-earth people should stay in the business of standing up for themselves if need be. So the shooting seems more, it was obviously in self-defense. And trust and believe, baby, as Christian as I am, I'm shooting bitches too. In self-defense, that is. Cameron Joshua, aka Yellow Hoodie. Prosecutors revealed they found surveillance footage and eyewitness confirming that Joshua was at the party with a gun at the time Takeoff was killed. Joshua's attorney, Christopher Downey, said his client had absolutely nothing to do with Takeoff's deaths. My God. Quote, Cameron Joshua did not shoot Takeoff. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name. Downey said, quote, my understanding it was some type of social event and some people were playing dice, he said. Beyond that, I don't know. Okay, then. Girl, I'm just keep reading CTV. Downey did not say if Joshua or Takeoff had any prior relationship. As for his criminal history, Joshua posted a $300 bond after being charged for burglary of a motor vehicle on April 3rd, 2022. Records show he was also listed as an out-of-state fugitive on a robbery warrant in Los Angeles, California. Additionally, on December 3rd, 2020, Joshua was charged with burglary of a vehicle and served 3 days in the Harris County Jail, according to There's a lot of things going on. So, Lil Cam Hoodie is pleading innocent. That he had nothing to do with it aside from just having a gun and being at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's his story, and he seems to be sticking to it. And allegedly HPD is also buying it. Unless they're using smart parts. Okay? And playing in our face, but for good damn reason. I also want to pull up this footage. I mean, this paperwork, girl. Not damn footage. Okay? Regarding Patrick Xavier Clark, okay? Courtesy of Street Committee. This is a lot of paperwork too, girl. Hold on. Let me see something here. This is massive. Let me see how many pages this is first. I don't know if I can take it. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Thumbs up this video, you guys. Please thumbs up the video. Okay, so let me show you some of this paperwork here. Are you the queen? You the queen of this here? One platinum plaque album flop, bitch. Where? Okay, hold on. What am I looking at? State defended, foreign or not. Okay. Nope. Still okay. All right. So here it is, you guys. This is the motion for sufficient bail. The state of Texas by and through its, as you guys can see here, the state of Texas versus Clark Patrick Xavier. The state of Texas by and through its assistant district attorney requests this court enter a sufficient bail pursuant to Texas Code, a criminal proceeding and arts, Sufficient and non-oppressive bail is required to give proper consideration to the matter of the offense, protect the safety of the victim and community, and provide reasonable assurance that the defendant will return. The nature of the case reflects. Checkmark. Defendant committed the instant offense using a deadly weapon. Defendant used a firearm to commit this offense and caused the death of the complainant. Okay. And that's checked. Checked also its extradition history. Shortly after the murder of the defendant, applied for an expedited passport by submitting a travel itinerary for an upcoming flight to Mexico. Immediately prior to his arrest, the defendant received the passport. Upon arrest, the defendant was found in possession of a large amount of cash money. Defendant should be considered a flight risk. Also, checkmark was aggravating facts specific to the nature of the case. The state is opposed to a personal bond pursuant to Article 1703 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure as the defendant is charged with a violent offense. The state is further opposed to a low bond based on public safety concerns because the defendant shot a firearm into a crowd of people and struck the complainant in the back and head, causing his death. Further, a low bond is unreasonable and insufficient to ensure the defendant's appearance in court based on his successful efforts to obtain an expedited passport shortly after the murder and an imminent travel itinerary to Mexico. Oh my God. So here it is, baby. Prosecutors are definitely holding Patrick Xavier Clark as the man who killed, who unalived, who deleted Takeoff. And as you guys heard from HPD, they have forensics, they have video. And he is one, maybe of many, because a lot of people were shooting allegedly, but maybe who shot were only bullets that came from, I mean, the bullets that actually hit Takeoff might have only came from Patrick Clark Xavier. Okay? The state is further opposed to a low bond based on public safety concerns because the defendant shot a firearm into a crowd of people and struck Takeoff in the back and head, causing his death. Okay? Now, of course, this does not indicate if the only bullets that struck Takeoff came from Patrick, you know, because none of that was cleared up in the autopsy, and we don't have any information as of yet on ballistic findings. But we do know that according to what they have found, which that it definitely has directly incriminated Patrick Xavier Clark in this case. Okay? Will, you know, so it's still to be said if Migos bans weapon. Also, the yellow cam shit, clearly his ballistics came back clear because they let him go on unlawful carrying. but Patrick Clark Xavier. Or Patrick Xavier Clark. Wow, 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 wow. This is definitely a head banger. I also want to show you guys something else. It's another piece of paperwork. And this is the state's motion for bond conditioning. And this is really kind of short. So shout out to the 300 folk in the building. Thumbs up this video, you guys, as you guys are coming in to the sanctuary. Okay, let me show you guys this. Okay, this is once again the state of Texas versus Clark Patrick Xavier. This is the state's motion for bond conditions. Comes now the state of Texas by and through its assistant district attorney and moves this honorable court to enter the following bond conditions. Check mark. State requests the defendant, whether a foreign national or not, be ordered to surrender any and all passports, visas, and or travel documents, to be prohibited from obtaining or applying for any new or supplemental passport, visa, or travel document. Also check mark. State requests the defendant have no contact with the complainant in this case or anyone in complainant's household, including siblings and parents, in person or through any other person, telephonically, by mail, or by any other manner or means for the duration of this cause, and the following individuals and or locations: any family or household members of the complainant, Kurtznick Kari Ball, J. Prince Jr., and any members of his family or household. Shakir Stevenson, the boxer, and any members of his family or household and his residence, place, or employment. Basically, he's restricted from having contact with anybody else who was on deck that night. J. Prince and the girls and the band, as well as Shakir Stevenson and his veneers, honey, no contact. State requests the defendant not possess any firearms, ammunition, or other weapons. State requests the defendant submit to randomly urinalysis. State requests the defendant be prohibited from using, possessing, or consuming any alcohol-controlled substance, dangerous drug, or marijuana unless prescribed pursuant to a lawful prescription issued by a medical doctor. State requests the defendant submit to electronic monitoring by signaling the contractual agreements and complying with any stipulated curfews and rules. State requests the defendant be subjected to curfew and that defendant remain at home as provided to the court between the hours of 12 a.m. and 11:59. House arrest. State also requests the defendant be prohibited from the following: leaving Harris or contiguous counties without permission of the court. So they're locking his ass, down. But you guys already see that it appears that his bond has been revoked. They feel he is a concern to public safety. He's a flight risk. He's dangerous, etc. But if he were to have had that granted, then these would have been the conditions that he would have had to sustain in the meantime, in between time. Okay. There's also another piece of footage here. And once again, shout out to the street committee, girl, because y'all be on it. Let me see here. What is this? This is in the name and by authority before me undersigned that I'm set who on the oath to get the police. I believe the Harris County, Texas, Patrick hereby stopped the defendant before did to them and unlawful intentionally and knowingly commit the felony offense. Okay, so this here, you guys, is, I think this is the arrest record here. This is the complaint, page 1, because let me show you guys this too. Okay, this is okay, so this is the arrest record here. The state of Texas versus Patrick Xavier Clark. In the name of the authority, as you guys can see here, this is a felony charge, felony murder. Okay. He was arrested on the 1st of December. at 7:32. You guys know they pulled up to the joint with, you know, the SWAT team and shit. Let me see what else is here real quick. Okay. Charge, only one charge, and that's felony murder. In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, before me, the undersigned Assistant District Attorney of Harris County, Texas, this day appeared the undersigned affiant, who under oath says that he has good reason to believe and does believe that in Harris County, Texas, Patrick Xavier Clark, hereafter styled, aka unalived, the defendant heretofore on or about November 1st of 2022, did then and there unlawfully, intentionally, and knowingly commit the felony offense of deadly conduct by knowingly discharging a firearm at and in the direction of Kurthnick Kari Ball, and while in the course of and furtherance of the commission of said offense, did commit an act clearly dangerous to human life, to wit, the defendant knowingly discharged a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, in the direction of a group of persons that included the complainant, Kurthnick Kari Ball, and did therefore cause the death of Kurthnick Kari Ball. Against the peace and dignity of the state, signed and sworn. Me God. Selena Bradley, and Jennifer Keith, Assistant District Attorney. My God, today I want that fool to tell people why he hurt. That's the thing, you guys. So I don't, girl. You know, when I first opened this up, I was just like, okay, whose team was he playing for? Was he playing for Jay Prince's team? Was he playing for the Migos team? Because he shot in the direction of Migos bands and Takeoff. But guess who also was in that direction? Lil Cam, who once again was in a verbal altercation, who once again can be seen putting his arm up next to Takeoff's head. Okay, remember, social media feels like Takeoff Cam, based upon what was seen, shot Takeoff directly in the head, etc. But so was he shooting intentionally at Yellow Cam to protect Migos or Takeoff? Was he helping Yellow Cam? Was he trying to shoot the Migos associated persons, personal assistant, Migos bands, Takeoff, etc.? Or was he just a nigga who heard gunfire and rowdiness and just started shooting in the direction of where the bullets were coming from? Was this a knee-jerk reaction? Because if what everybody is saying around him is, oh, he has no history of this, and yes, when he was connected to a murder back in 2018, it was in self-defense. A man was shooting at him, so he shot back. So was this somebody who simply, you know, was just was it accidental? Was he, you know, so it's one of those three things. He was either playing for Jay Prince's team and helping Yellow Hoodie, Lil Cam, or he was either trying to protect Migos bands and Takeoff by shooting at Yellow Hoodie, who would have been standing right behind Takeoff, which means that Yellow Cam would have been in front of Patrick directionally. And then according to the court documents, it's Patrick's gun that shot Takeoff in the back and in the head. So that's why it can be argued that, hey, was he trying to shoot at Yellow Hoodie? but because Yellow Hoodie was ship-shifting and literally sprinting from one side to the other, he might have accidentally shot Takeoff, trying to actually shoot Yellow Cam Hoodie who was behind him, or he could have been assisting Yellow Hoodie, and or he could have just been fucking shooting in a direction of the bullets that were coming in his goddamn direction, and this was an accidental shooting. It's one of the three of those things. I think there's also one more piece of paperwork here. Oh, this just has a bunch of addresses and shit on it, so I'm not gonna. This is the memorandum. The recorder's memorandum. Okay, that's not necessary to show. And then this is the no bill. Okay, from the 2018 shooting. The grand jury allegations against above. Okay, I can show this. So this is the no bill. The no bill. Order of discharge from the 2018 shooting that Patrick was involved in. Okay, so just so you guys can see it with your own eyes. Okay, the state of Texas, Patrick Clark, and the Honorable Johnson, the 178th grand jury investigated allegations against the above named defendant, namely shooting investigation, and failed to find a bill of indictment. The grand jury now asks the court to discharge said defendant from custody, if any, based on these allegations. Okay, and here it is. You see everything is signed and sealed. You are hereby commanded to discharge the defendant, Patrick Clark, if he is in your custody for the above described criminal allegations. Okay, so once again, they did not find him guilty of homicide or murder, etc. He essentially killed a man in self-defense, so he's cleared from that. So it is a lot going on. Yep, so that is all the receipts. So there it is, you guys. Patrick Xavier Clark is being charged for the homicide of Takeoff. And according to HPD, they have ballistic findings and surveillance to indict Mr. Patrick, who has not been a point of interest as far as social media is concerned. Police, HPD did say that more suspects, are on the way. They are looking to still talk to everyone. They had Lil Cam Fifth in custody, but for carrying unlawfully and nothing else. So is there still a lot to be said? It appears so. And it seems like HPD, they're definitely on a trail right now, because they put somebody into this that we had no idea about. And apparently they have pretty much solid objective evidence. They was able to get this man arrested, get a warrant out for his arrest, etc. They were able to stop him from leaving the country, etc. And judges only grant that type of shit when there's pretty much, overwhelming evidence for such. So why am I removing my banner? Oh, that must have been when I had that paperwork up, right? Because the paperwork gone now. And I'm too drunk to pull it back up, girl. Like, I'm tired. Okay, I'm struggling pushing through this much, but I will link everything in the description box below. And so remember, he wasn't supposed to have a gun in his possession, period. It doesn't matter what others are doing. Exactly. Breaking the law is breaking the damn law. So y'all, but he's a prime suspect, period. It's just I'm gonna try to be patient. This is gonna be the Shanquella and Takeoff case. This is gonna be very, very interesting. What comes out of all of this? You know, we are very early on in both investigations. Quella's situation, you know, just popped off over the past 2 weeks, and Takeoff situation is just a month old now. You know, realistically speaking, in both instances, things are actually moving pretty fast, as much as it feels like things are moving pretty slow. You know, they already have an arrest warrant for Dejanay, and they've already got their first suspect in custody officially within a month. So that's pretty timely, considering how slow we have seen some cases move. You know, some cases have never been solved or are just being solved 40 years out. So, you know, they're moving pretty expeditiously. CTV, you said you tipsy, girl. Yeah, I'm somewhere between waiting in the water and girl, I'm just waiting. The best way I can explain it is I'm waiting in the water, girl. I'm not quite inebriated, but I'm definitely you know, just belly up floating, girl, out in the ocean right now. I'm holding it together. Okay, I had a long Paris Hilton type of a goddamn night. So that's that. I'm encouraged. That's something. So that's it. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. What do you guys think is going to happen with Yellow Cam? What do you guys think is going to happen with Migos band? Do you guys think there's going to be more arrests? What do you think about Patrick Xavier Clark's arrest, girl, and that what he did that night and the bullets from his gun absolutely struck Takeoff, according to HPD. And yeah, this is very, very, very fucking interesting. I gotta get out of here, you guys. I do have another live schedule, girl. I may reschedule it, or I may just go live and get it over with as well, and then go sit my ass down some fucking where. You know, and that's crazy, Bed-Stuy, that Lil Cam's attorney, you know, and I read his remarks, you know. But of course, you know, he's an attorney. He's going to say that. He's going, you know, he's supposed to absolutely talk, act, and present as if his client is absolutely innocent. That is his job, technically. But, you know, unfortunately, the facts are not given that. And he even said at some point that, you know, he doesn't know. I mean, he didn't even know what type of fucking event it was. He's talking about, you know, my client was involved. You know, he was at some type of a social event. Bitch, it was a dice game, sir. If you're going to be going this hard up for your client, you at least can have your facts in order, girl. Like, you're speaking very generally and roundabout for somebody who's also trying to convince the public of a whole situation. So get it together. But I do find it ironic that Patrick was brought in 1 month after Lil Cam was brought in for this unlawful charge. So there could be a relationship between Lil Cam Fifth and them apprehending Patrick. Both of those men are Texas residencies, and it's very possible that Lil Cam Fifth could be, you know, talking that shit and saying what need to be said in order to make sure his shit is cleared, because it's a lot on the line. So if HPD do not do anything with Lil Cam Fifth by the time this is all said and done, I don't give a damn that they have Patrick Xavier in custody. This is still an injustice. And there needs to be pressure applied if by the end of this, Lil Cam Fifth is truly in the clear, because that it's just absolute insanity and a total disregard for, as far as I'm concerned, just as equally a significant of the piece of this puzzle as Patrick is. We don't even know what Patrick's motive is. For all we know, this is accidental. For all we know, shit. I mean, he did what the fuck I would have did, bitch. Like, if I'm packing heat and heat is flying in my direction, bitch, I'm not gonna think twice either. You know, you know, you got to charge it to the game, baby. You know, whoever, because once again, the first rule of thumb is self-preservation. If you are actually carrying a weapon and then people start shooting, bitch, and you have bullets shooting in your direction, a natural response, it can be argued whether it's wise, but it's definitely an organic response to start discharging back in an attempt to preserve your own life. But once again, we will get more context as investigation plays out. And best, I hear what you're saying. Mistaken identifications are the leading factor, but these people have surveillance. They have ballistics. Okay, so this, you know, they have ballistics. Bedside, they have footage, and I'm sure with there being, you know, 30, 40 something people at this event, they're going to be able to corroborate the identity of Patrick. And there isn't anything as of yet that says that Patrick is pleading innocent or that he is, you know, arguing wrongful identification, etc. So, you know, we don't have anything from his side declaring that, you know, he's innocent. He wasn't even there that night. That, you know, so. And none of the friends and family who spoke out said there's no way this could be true because he wasn't even there that night. He was with us. He was trick-or-treating with his kids. He was at home with his baby mama. They're all just saying, hey, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And that this is not who Patrick is. He's not some malicious person. He doesn't live that life. He's not about that life. You know, he's a quiet, respectful person, etc., which, you know, it lends me to believe that this probably was accidental. You know, things transpired in a moment, and sometimes you make instinctual decisions, not necessarily rational ones, but ones that are instinctual. So yeah, I'm going to be looking forward to what happens. I got to get out of here, you guys. What I'm asking is that the role of Lil Cam to bear false witness. What I'm asking is that the role of Lil Cam to bear false witness. But see, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a little past any type of false witness, and they have some clear-cut evidence. They have a connection between Patrick's gun and ballistics and all of that, and Takeoff's death. And they have footage, probably non-cell phone footage, probably footage that actually came from billiards and bowling, which is probably a better quality of footage than that we saw. Etc., if that's what you're asking. And but yeah, let me get out of here, you guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll check you guys later. Peace.